Welcome to a brand new Five Heart Podcast live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. It's great to be back with you again after what I'm going to describe as a much needed week off last week. I'm your host, Greg Mahachko, and joining me is my co-host, co-pilot, the incomparable Minnie Hunt. Minnie, how are you doing tonight?
Co-host, co-pilot, incomparable. What an introduction, Greg Mahachko.
Thank you.
And I have an introduction for you.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
My co-host, my incomparable, Greg Mahachko, everybody.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Husker Chuck says, "Oh, good, you're not dead." I don't know if he's referring to you or me, but we're not dead. Minnie,
we're not dead.
No, you did a great job of reminding people about things on YouTube. Thank you for the messages and the words you were putting out there. I gotta say, I would have much rather been here last Thursday than stuck in the Orlando airport till almost 11 o'clock Eastern.
Well, there are worse places to be.
Well, Greg. In the airport.
I mean, come on. Beggars cannot be choosers, Greg.
That's
Orlando,
true.
Florida. Florida. Belleville, Illinois. I mean, I kind of, yeah.
But you're in the airport. You can't really go anywhere because they just kept kicking the can down the road as far as when the flight was.
That sounds fun.
I did get to have Auntie Anne's pretzels, so you know.
Well, there you go.
and I got to hold a baby, so that was fun.
Oh well, now that just takes the cake.
It was a friend. It's not like random person. It was a friend of mine.
Their baby, I hope.
got to help them. They have 3 little ones, and just how can I help? Let me help.
That's awesome.
And I said, here, let me take the littlest one because I already have ones that are mobile and can run around. You watch them. I'll watch the one that can't do any of that. So
yeah,
it was
that's
great.
fun.
It was great.
It's always nice to hold a baby.
Always nice to hold a baby. Husker Chuck wants to know, Greg, would you rather be playing golf in 35 degrees with a 25-mile-an-hour wind? No. My golf game's bad enough without 25-mile-an-hour winds. So I'd rather be inside in 35 degrees if I'm being honest.
It has been reaching almost like 90 degrees every day here.
Wow.
In Phoenix, Arizona. Yep.
Is that normal for early April?
It's slightly warm.
Okay. Oh, well.
April can go either way.
I got you.
I've had Aprils here that just the wind, and the cold. Of course, you know all about that. But in Phoenix, it's a different story. And do you know who else is here in Phoenix, Arizona? Well, maybe I shouldn't even be saying it. I don't think he cares. Fred Zacco.
He is.
Yeah, he is. So he won't be with us in the chat for sure.
You said he will be with us in the chat?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he is disposed.
All right. Well, Mr. Raji's here in the chat. Howdy to you, sir. And Highlander sent this about 20 minutes ago, says, I'm sitting in the dark. Power went off. Power on phone about dead. If I miss tonight, see you guys Monday night. Don't know the circumstances.
I'm so sorry.
But hope that everything's okay and that you don't open the freezer.
Alabama. Why? Why?
Well, because then you let in warm air and your food can spoil.
Oh. I didn't. Okay. I don't think. I would know what to do if I was like left in the cold. I really don't know. There needs to be like a checklist. I think you're just raised that way when you live in the Midwest. Like you just know, okay, when the power goes out, when this happens, don't open the freezer.
Don't open the freezer.
What else?
Or
don't
fridge.
Go outside?
Yeah, theoretically. I mean, I guess. I mean, if it depends, because if it's just like a April or May thunderstorm that knocks the power out, you can go outside. You know. I would say probably take the advice of my parents, where if you have the means, get a backup generator for your house. They don't have to worry about
I would absolutely do that. Yeah.
And Fred wants, or Justin wants to know what you did to Fred, Minnie, because you said he's indisposed.
No, I did not. I didn't do anything to him. Guys, I wish I could see him, but he is so busy. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to see him. Hopefully, we'll get a little visit in. If I do, I'm going to pass on your guys' hellos. I promise.
Please do. Please do. If this is an answer to your question, what do you do in the Midwest? Like things that you're taught or ingrained in your DNA to do in a power outage. I think Tony's saying you besmirch the Badgers. Either that or he just wants us to besmirch the Badgers tonight.
I like that idea. Can we just talk crap about Wisconsin all night?
We could. I'd run out of things. Like
I wouldn't.
Okay. Oh, okay.
We can meticulously pick them apart. You know, they're not going to be very good this season. We play them.
We do.
Here's
something that's near and dear to your heart.
Huh.
Our friend Pitt is going through a time. Raji says, "Are you really missing your dogs, Pitt?" And Pitt says, "Yep, the yellow and black labs went AWOL Saturday night, beat my brains out looking, think they got snatched." That's horrible.
I've always thought that having your dogs missing is, I can't handle either, but having your dogs missing is so much worse than, taking them and putting them to sleep because they've lived a long life and just, ran out of steam, because you never know what happened to them. Right. The question's always out there. And I'm so sorry you're going through that. That is the worst.
We're with you, Pitt, and hope that they get found, returned, reward, etc.
Husker Chuck says it's like a missing child.
Yeah,
I know.
All I ever had to worry about when my dogs were pups really was them chasing squirrels and going about 2 yards or 2 streets over. But they're faster than me then, so I was able to chase them down. But to think that they might have gotten snatched, that's truly horrible. And so I hope that's not the case.
I know. I really hope. They're just, you know what? I have a happy story about a dog.
Hold on. I want to hear your happy story, but Pitt says, "What's worse? They're technically my brother-in-laws. They were all gone on my nephew's Make-A-Wish trip to Disney."
Oh, that is so. Okay, I have a good story.
Okay, we need to pick me up.
So where I live, it's right next to a mountain. Okay, and there's coyotes. There's been coyotes and wildcats, bobcats in my backyard. And I have a little dog who's 11 pounds. Her name is Puppy. She's 15 years old now.
Little dog. That's a tiny
dog. She loves to escape. I don't know how she does it, but a few years ago, I guess Diamond Dave must have left a gate open or something, and Puppy is nowhere to be found.
She go mountain climbing?
No, listen, I didn't realize till the very next morning when I go to feed her, and I'm like, "Where's Puppy?" And we're racking our brain going, "Oh my gosh, I think she must have gotten out when he let the door open because the side gate was open." So at night, coyotes come down the mountain to feed on smaller animals, right? I am freaking out. I start putting signs up. I know that a coyote must have eaten her. There's no way she could have survived overnight. Absolutely not. She's 11 pounds. We start putting signs up. One of my neighbors drives down the road and goes, "Oh, that's your dog." They had kept her all night.
Oh, wow.
And she had become she pretty much fell in love with their kids. They thought they had a new home,
Oh gosh.
a new dog, and I'm like, you can't keep my dog. But she was. After that, I started getting her like one of those metal necklaces instead of because she would chew the fabric ones off. That's why she didn't have it on.
She bit through her
anyways,
leash.
She made it. Yeah, she would chew her own
Wow.
collar off with, the tags and everything. So after that, I started putting a metal one on her. Anyways, now she's 15 years old. And she acts like she's 2. So I'm hoping that's the case for your doggies. That would be awesome. It was like the best day of my life. And those neighbors, I love them to pieces.
Right.
To this day. So
they're included on the Christmas card list.
They are. Absolutely.
Well, we're thinking about you, Pitt, and hoping the boys get found. And man, that I can't imagine. So well, shall we switch gears and begin the show? Minnie, are you dancing the Champions Dance?
Oh, keep going.
Okay. The Champions Dance, because Nebraska has yet another championship caliber squad. Of course, I'm referring to men's basketball. This past weekend, they were crowned the college or the basketball crown tournament, whatever it's called, the CBC champions, with a 77-66 win over the University of Central Florida. And this game took place in, I want to say, Las Vegas. I know some of the earlier games were at the MGM Grand, the T-Mobile Arena, which I believe is also there in Vegas. Yes, I think the whole thing was in Las Vegas. They went on a 2-weekend run, or a week-long run. I don't know. They played the first game against Arizona State back on March 31st, which was a Monday. Yeah, so I guess they had the whole damn thing wrapped up in a week. They defeated Arizona State in the first round, 86-78. They defeated Georgetown, which Georgetown has quite the pedigree for men's basketball, but they defeated the Hoyas 81-69 on April 2nd. Those games at the MGM Grand. In the semifinals on April 5th, they defeated Boise State 79-69, turned around the very next day, and defeated UCF, as I mentioned, 77-66. That game was tied at 35 at halftime. In doing so, there's so few basketball programs that get to end their season with a win, and the Nebraska men's basketball team is one of those programs. So, she's crowned the crown queen of Husker podcast, I'd imagine.
You know why? Because in lieu of doing what other Husker fans might be doing, I decided, okay, I'll just wear a crown tonight. Other Husker fans might be going and getting this tattoo.
Well, I got that. I want a better 2025 crown. Who is that? Is that somebody random you pulled off, or do you know that individual?
This is from X. It's
okay.
It's a page I follow, Huskers AI. But I was like, how obsessed I am with tattoos, right? And I kind of love this. So I'm like, if I were somebody who likes tattoos all over my body, I would get that.
I'll say this about that tattoo. It's very
I don't know if I'd get the 2025 crown champions, but I would get the N with the crown. That's a good tattoo. Sorry, Greg, I cut you off.
No, that's fine. I was just to say, as far as tattoos go, that's very clean. The line work is tremendous. I have no arguments with that. I mean, I think I agree with you about maybe not having it say 2025 crown champions. I think now what you're kind of almost relegated to is if they would have put crown champions, and then they could start like how you add years onto banners like 2025, 26, 27. I do feel like they're relegated now to only, if they ever win the NCAA tournament, like the tournament, that guy's going to have to get an entire chest or back tattoo. And that's the only thing you can do to top. Look who it is.
I told everyone you were not going to be here, Fred.
Minnie, in honor
I
of
gave it
his
away.
surprise visit, pop in, you have to read this comment.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Still not going to read it. But I will be happy to let you.
Fred Sacco in the I say he's in the house. He's in Arizona. He says it is the opposite of moist here. I'm assuming it's very dry.
I didn't realize. Is it?
Let's see. Pit Snipe Husker says Sackles here. Husker Chuck. I agree that I think this is a real tattoo in that you can see the redness, the irritation around where the work got done. Vince calls it a participation tattoo. Vince just says higher.
That's exactly what it is. I am not even kidding.
So, and then Husker Chuck also said, Minnie, I think, because it's not very humid in Phoenix, right?
It isn't, but no, I love humidity, and I'll tell you why.
You love humidity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to know why?
Does it have something to do with frizzy hair?
No.
Okay, that's the only thing I think of with humidity. I'm sorry.
No, because humidity allows you to soak in the sun rays, and it gives you like a bronzed tan.
Oh.
Like you should have come home with a bronze tan, Greg. I don't know where that is. Did you really go to where you said you were going?
I did. I could show pictures. I don't have any prepared, but I could probably show pictures. I sat on the beach. I sat by a pool. I used SPF 70 sunscreen. I sat in the shade by the pool bar quite a bit. I sat under a palm tree. That was the day that I got sunburned. The places that I was like, I don't think I need sunscreen on the top of my feet. I needed sunscreen on the top of my feet.
That is the one thing I told you. I said, make sure you put sunscreen on your nose, your shoulders, and the top of your feet.
Well, I definitely got the nose and my shoulders, and I missed, but it wasn't horrible. Like it didn't.
I've dealt with people with your skin tone before.
Pale, ghostly, Midwestern, and indoorsy.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
That's me. No, I for sure vacationed. I'll say this. I'm going to put this place over. If you ever have the ability to go to an all-inclusive resort, and if you have the ability to let somebody else pay for it like I did, I highly recommend it. The Hyatt Cap Cana Zilara in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, just 5 stars all the way. Tremendous stay. And I didn't pay for a meal. I didn't pay for a drink.
Greg, now you're just showing off.
I know. I'm sorry. And
I'm glad you had a good time.
It was great.
Obviously, you needed it.
It was fun. It was a wonderful time had by all. Got to see some people. James Portman, my blood type is vapor because I'm so pale, ghostly.
Greg,
what?
You do look like you got a little sun. A little.
I mean, that was a week ago, so I would think that even if I did, it probably would go away by now. I don't know. No, hey, at the end of the day,
you look a little pink.
I think that's okay. I'll take it. I think it's a reflection. I don't want to argue. I'll take it.
Oh, from your shirt.
I think so.
Oh.
And if I take the shirt off, it's all going to be white. So I don't want to do that to anybody.
Please don't. Don't do that. Okay.
Mr. Chuck says, I've been meaning to ask, what's Greg drinking today?
I mean, come on. Do you guys really need to ask? Is it Yingling? Is it? Inquiring minds want to know. Could it be?
What's Greg drinking today? What's Greg drinking today? Whoa. I'll say this.
You guys,
they didn't have any Yingling in the Dominican Republic.
We are going to definitely start betting on this.
What?
It's going to be like Vegas here at 5 Heart every Thursday night. Bets are coming in first thing, okay? We're going to bet what Greg is drinking.
All right. They didn't have
And
Yingling.
the odds are not going to be good if you pick Yingling because that's his favorite.
1-1. For a week or
you might lose money if you pick Yingling.
The house always wins. No. I drank a week's worth of El Presidente, which is their local beer, and it was really good. I'm back home. I'm all out of my winter ale, which is appropriate because now we're in the second week of April. So I'm drinking Yingling. And you know what? That's okay. I like being a little predictable. I'll try to find something else for next week just to mix it up.
One of your berry beers?
I don't know.
It's feeling kind of springy.
It could be. Spring is a good time for spring and summer. A good time for
berries,
like orange radlers and things like that. So,
well, I think you need to bring in some fruity beers.
I do probably need to increase.
That sounds like something you would enjoy.
I agree.
As well as, I'm still looking for a 2025 calendar with flowers. The Greg Mahachko Floral 2025 calendar.
Oh,
flowers of every month.
You know what? I'm going to work on that. I don't know who I'm going to have to talk to. I need to do something like that for 2026. We're obviously into April already. 2026, look for an official Coronation flower calendar. I'll take my camera. I'll go out to the fields and these all pictures by Greg. Maybe I'll take some of a snow-covered tree or something just so you can see. Oh, for the winter months. Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be good. Nice. I forget about my calendar sometimes. By that, I mean all the time.
Can't forget about it.
That was me.
Should we talk about some football?
Well, we have barely scratched the surface on basketball.
No, we did. We got it. We got it covered.
No, I mean, we didn't talk about the fact that with the 21-14 record that Nebraska had and their second ever postseason title after the 1996 NIT, we didn't talk about Juwan Gary being the tournament MVP with his 10th 20-point game of the season, or the Bryce Williams added to his single season Nebraska scoring record with 21 points in the championship game. That means he finishes with 713 points on the season. Or Connor Essegian, who of those three will be back next year. He had his 5th 20-point game off the bench. And he could spend a little bit of time talking about some of the athletes that Nebraska is, Coach Hoiberg is bringing back or into Lincoln for the first time.
I love where your heart is, Greg. I do. But what interests me more about this whole thing is the March Madness. Did you see that Vegas bookies projected the Gambler to beat Duke and AI beat them out? Or projected the winner to be Duke and AI beat them out?
I didn't know that.
Isn't that insane?
So artificial intelligence is becoming smarter than actual bookies?
It is.
Does that mean that we weren't given in the BCS era, we weren't giving that computer model enough credit?
Obviously not.
By the way, I know a couple weeks back on Monday Night Therapy, you had Mark Rogers on the show, and I read his book in.
Did you like it?
I did. I read it in the St. Louis airport Monday morning and finished it in the Orlando airport Monday afternoon. But yeah, I mean, talking about how, resetting the 90s national championships, you took into account BCS, the computer module and everything else. So, I mean, obviously we've come a long way, AI and technology in the last 20 years since we've gone away from the BCS. But it's interesting to note that if we ever went back to incorporating a computer model where they might be more accurate than humans? I don't know.
I think it's insane. I'm going with AI from now on. I don't even bet, and I may just start just betting off of AI because
Just listening to the AI overlords is Vince.
Yeah. Why not? In fact, that's the reason I reconnected with my older brother. He texted me. He goes, "Are you watching this from the Crown game tournament on Sunday night?" I'm like, "Of course." He goes, "Nebraska's going to win this." He goes, "But I can't watch all the games during the season. There's way too many." That's. How do you feel about that, Greg? I feel like this is the inaugural Crown Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Did we invent this so that other people can keep winning things?
I think it, and full disclosure, I'm not 100% sure, but the NIT, I think some of these postseason tournaments have kind of taken on conference ties, just like some of the bowl games. So I think the NIT was more SEC, ACC, things like that. And so this was, with the tournament in Vegas here, the college basketball crown, Big 10, Big 12. I think it's just they're trying to get more programs and opportunity for more postseason action.
Just more money.
More money. Yeah.
That's what it was. Do you think they think of us? They're not thinking, hey, the fans will appreciate that. Nebraska fans will appreciate that. No.
Because and that's because our fan base, and not to disparage the good Nebraska ball fans out there, but we're known as a football volleyball school, not as a basketball
school. It's not even that. It's just all about money.
Sure.
Always.
TV rights. I mean, the fact that the championship game was on ESPN, I believe, and I don't know where even all the games were. I don't have cable anymore, so I can't watch anything. But it's there's more money than ever in college athletics now, not just football, obviously. Pitt says this tournament was invented to make money, but we all want to see our lads play, and it's just a bonus that we won. And I believe the players walk away with $300,000 cash, because I remember Fred Hoiberg saying something.
Each?
No, I think as a team. I think because $300,000 cash times 12, maybe that's
I don't know. But I will say this: if we learned nothing from the movie Jerry Maguire, how do you like my movie context here? It was show me the money, right?
I wasn't entirely sure where you're going with that. I'm glad that's what
that's what we learned. So yeah, it's all about money.
And Tony, thank you for filling in some of the spots that I missed. Big 10, Big 12, Big East, Mountain West, aka the Fox conferences. So, and Vince tells me to get a jailbreak box. I don't even know what that is, Vince. Sorry.
It's a box where you can watch everything.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know. That sounds illegal. I don't know any.
It is illegal.
They're gonna come. If I get one of those, they're gonna come. They're gonna take my TVs. Then how am I gonna entertain my kids?
Vince must have one.
Vince probably gonna send me an email to hooch3600@gmail.com to tell me where I can find one of those. Probably.
All right.
But we, Rachi's like, how do I get one?
Me? I'm next.
So, and this actually, some of this was before Nebraska in the semifinals and championship. Nebraska men's basketball picked up some transfers. We're actually getting a transfer from Iowa, and that is Price Sanford. He's going to be a Husker next year, which I think is hilarious because the Hawkeyes were calling him a traitor and, good luck never winning a game in, of meaningful basketball in the postseason or something like that. But he had positive things. He talked about the atmosphere and the environment at Pinnacle Bank Arena is one of the deciding factors. And I know we'll talk about the fans later on in the show when we talk about Nebraska football. But he was one, and there were others. We also got a really quality MAC player, a first-team all-conference MAC player, and his name is, I'm not going to get this on the first try, Ugnius Jurasevicius. Ugnius Jurasevicius. He was from Central Michigan. Like I mentioned, he's a first-team All-MAC last year with 16.2 points per game and 7.3 rebounds per game. And the one that I think has Nebraska fans most excited is a return to Nebraska, and that's Jamarcus Lawrence, who is coming back. He was a Husker a couple years back in the 2023-2024 season, averaging 6.9 points per game with 23 starts. And then he went to Rhode Island and played in all 31 games there with 9.9 points per game and 39% from three. And he is now back. So there's some familiarity there. I remember him kind of being a fan favorite, even if the on-court production wasn't always at its peak. Jamarcus Lawrence was definitely a name I remember when I had TV and could watch more frequently. So good to see him back.
Okay. Oogie. Because nobody can pronounce his name. Or Yugi. Oogie. Yugi Oogie. Like a bear. Thank you, Greg. That was very informative.
I try.
Now can we talk about football?
Well, what about wrestling?
I didn't put it in the format, but go ahead.
I just want to say I was shocked, as I think most people were, that three-time NCAA tournament qualifier Lenny Pinto entered the transfer portal. I
don't like to break bad news here.
Oh, that's why.
Leave that for other places.
Okay. Well, then we definitely can't do what Husker Chuck says. Let's talk about baseball.
No, we don't want to do that.
No baseball talk. All right. I'm ready. Let's talk about pigskin. Football.
I know.
Okay.
I know. Do you realize it's been 2 weeks since we've been here? There has been a lot going on.
That is 2 Bare Naked Lady songs. Because they have the song 1 week. So it's been 2 weeks since we did this show.
Mm-hmm. Okay. First of all, this is awesome. I have to show this. Pit Snipe. Well, actually, you know what? Can we just show his other comment that I starred? Because he's had a rough go about.
Was it this one here?
Yeah, that
Pulled
one.
over for speeding as I was hanging posters. Apparently, my license is suspended. Wine in the vodka flowing tonight. Oh, Pitt.
I don't blame him. In fact, I may break out some hard liquor for him as well. Because I feel bad. But then he follows it up with this. Go ahead,
Hey, amidst my earlier whining, I should have mentioned somebody's donating a day of drone searching for our dogs. God bless Nebraska. What is a day?
That isn't the nicest thing.
That is awesome, but like, what does a day of drone searching cost?
I mean, I don't know. He must live out in the wilderness or something.
Well, he made a comment earlier about how he was going, chasing the coyotes to their dens looking for the dogs. So I would, wilderness though. God bless you, man.
I mean, I think it's pretty awesome. I really think you're going to find those dogs. You're going to find them before they come back from their Make-A-Wish trip.
He's like, they've been back for 3 days.
Don't.
Pitt says, it's been a bitch. And says, have a damn drink, Minnie.
For you, I will. Pitt.
All right.
I'll be back.
I can go to my bar and get the.
Are you gonna do a drink too?
I'm already drinking. I'm not gonna do a shot tonight.
Well, okay. No, I know you are drinking.
I'm drinking.
Okay, I'll be back.
I'm always drinking. I love this one by Roger Moore. AI predicts Colorado will have a losing season. I think AI and anybody in their right mind is predicting Colorado will have a losing season. Fred is calling an audible at a place called Bitter and Twisted. Who knew Bo Pelini had a bar in Phoenix? We have to find out what Minnie knows about Bitter and Twisted when she comes back. We're going to star that one for later. Looking at your schedule, that Michigan game will be huge right out of the gate. Tony, I'm trying to remember. Tony, I think are you a closet Badger fan? I feel like are you a Wisconsin fan? It's okay. I feel like the name, everything, you want the Wisconsin hate, you want to feed on it like the emperor. A White Claw?
I'm back.
What flavor is that White Claw? Tangerine. All right.
Gotta get your vitamin C whenever possible.
You say vitamin B?
C.
Oh, C. Oh.
Tangerine. Citrus.
Yeah, citrus.
Vitamin C.
True. Hey, I've got to ask you this question, Minnie.
What are the dogs' names?
I don't know. I'm not scrolling down yet. Okay. What do you know about Bitter and Twisted in Phoenix?
Go there.
He
That's
is.
A good place.
He's already there. Fred is.
I was going to suggest you go there, but I didn't know, like, if you wanted just to, like, hang, go there. That is the best place.
He said, who knew Bo Pelini had a bar in Phoenix?
I didn't know Bo Pelini had a bar.
I think because it's called Bitter and Twisted. So I think that he's just remarking more to Bo Pelini's demeanor.
There are Husker bars. There are Husker bars. I will tell you about them. If you want to know, just text me.
Put the crown back on, Husker Chuck says.
Okay.
I like that you put it on the helmet.
You know, yeah. Well, that would make a good tattoo also, wouldn't it?
The Husker helmet with the crown?
Yeah.
You know, there are comments and suggestions for if Nebraska ever wins a national championship in football on what tattoo you should get where.
What?
Like they said, like something like a big N or something along your stomach.
How's this? Okay. Anyways, yeah.
And Douglas thinks you get tipsy on one drink, Minnie.
I do. It's gonna, but it'll take me a while to finish this.
Oh, Tony's a Gophers fan. Now I know that I insulted him by mislabeling him as a Wisconsin fan.
Tony, you can't let people here know that.
No, it's okay because that's why he was so ready for us to shit talk Wisconsin for 12 hours. So
yeah, but we love to shit talk Minnesota way more.
That's just because John's there and his rotten son went to Minnesota, so that's where we.
No, that has nothing to do with it.
That's why I shit talk.
It's because of PJ Fleck.
Well, that too. That's it.
And his capri pants.
In my defense, I've been shit talking Minnesota.
And the words that he chooses to use. What is it? Row the boat, and I'm gonna say it. Boys. He loves to use the OI words.
Well, that's good because he makes up for all the ones you don't use. Roger Moore says, let's all chip in and get Greg Cable. It's not necessary. I'm going to figure out what to do during football season, whether it's YouTube
we need
Live.
To just chip in and get Greg a computer.
Greg's fine.
That's what I feel like Greg needs more.
No, Greg's fine.
And
I started
maybe he
this
needs
thing
a
up 12
regular
hours ago. We're
vacation.
good.
Okay.
BFOTS Josh Hansen in the house says, "Hola, Chatterfields. What I miss?"
Nothing.
You missed the Spanish speaking portion of the show. Sorry, Josh. Let's see. There was Pitt. I don't know if you commented. I didn't see it. Oh, never mind. Here it is. Mo and Diesel are the dogs' names. So I have a feeling that Diesel's the chocolate or black lab.
The black one?
Just a guess.
Do you know there's such a thing as Black Dog Day?
There's what?
There is. There is such a thing as Black Dog Day. It's November 1st. And do you want to know why?
I'm curious.
It's because black dogs are the least wanted dogs there are.
Oh, I didn't know that. I would never thought that.
Yeah. Puppy's black. Mm-hmm.
And that's how she got out. She's like, "Get me out of here."
Oh, look who's here.
What's up, Nebraska?
Hi, Scott. Good to see you. All right, housekeeping. We need some likes, people, please. All you have to do is just like go and hit the thumbs up button. That.
You know, someone once put together a graphic that looks a little like this.
Who did that?
All you got to do, especially if you're on YouTube, is like this video, subscribe to the Corn Nation YouTube channel, and Minnie, if you could be so kind. Other side.
Yeah?
Other
You're
side.
kidding me.
No. There you go. And ring that bell for notifications so you never miss when we drop new content, whether it's 5 Heart Podcast or Monday Night Therapy, Husker Heat, whatever the hell John's doing, any of our short videos, and coming soon, the return of, I don't know what the hell we're calling it, the Coronation Overreaction Revisited or Overanalysis. The Sunday night show is coming back very soon. So it is for sure after next Friday when Haas will be participating or attending, I should say, the Husker coaches camp. And I think he's going to join us after.
Good for him.
To talk about
That's cool.
what he learned. So
I want to go.
You might be able to. I'm not sure.
Diesel is 100. Okay, these are the labs. Is it Diesel that's the black lab, and Mo is the yellow one?
Are you asking me or are you asking Pitt?
Of course I'm asking Pitt. How would you know?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
160 pounds and 180. Whoa, those are big dogs.
You put the two of them together and they weigh more than me.
Barely.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Okay.
Just kidding. Okay.
I was
just kidding. Right. Greg, you teed that up. I mean, come on. How could I not?
Make it easy for you.
Everybody, please be on the lookout for Diesel and Mo in Nebraska.
That's right.
They are 2 labs. One's black, one's yellow.
Yeah. BFOTS Josh says, those are big labs. My Great Dane only weighs 150 pounds. And Pitt says that they hung posters up in Murray. So if you're in the Murray, Nebraska area, please keep a lookout for Mo and Diesel. Highlander Guns bowing out. 16% power. See you later. We'll see you Monday night, Highlander.
Hey, Highlander. Thank you for coming. And you guys, he's had labs. I think his labs have all gone. They've passed on. They live long lives, but he loves dogs, so it makes me so sad. Like, here's my next life. This is what I'm doing. Actually, I always tell Diamond Dave this. When he dies, because he's older than me, I have a plan. I'm going to go and buy acreage up north in Arizona. And then I'm going to open up a dog rescue.
There you go. You know, it's like a dog rescue, dog sanctuary.
Yes. This is my next chapter. And maybe it's a Husker sanctuary too. Who knows?
I saw, and it's one of those like heartwarming stories. I don't know if it was from ABC National News or CBS National News, something like that. But it's about a little boy who's maybe 10 or 11, and he goes to this dog shelter, and he just goes and hangs out with all the old dogs because he knows, he's like, I know old dogs don't get as much love or attention, and they don't get adopted. So I just go, and he's like, I'm drawn to the older dogs. I was like, that's awesome. But Pitt does have a certain amount of levity and finding the humor. He says, how do you lose 340 pounds of dogs?
I didn't want to say it. I mean, for me to lose 11 pounds, understandable. 300.
That's kind of a lot. You lost more than an offensive lineman worth of dog. I just want you to know, Pitt.
It's true.
And
it's true. We're going to get to that.
And if our offensive linemen move as quick as the dogs, maybe we'll have, you know, some protection for Dylan Raiola this year. I don't know. So take us there. Football. Things are happening in the last 2 weeks.
Okay, you give me the most boring part.
Oh.
The reason it's boring is because John Butler. That dude is tight-lipped, doesn't tell you anything. I mean, honestly, I think I'd rather watch Scott Frost give a press conference.
That's cold.
John Butler. I know, but that's how he is. He's not very, like, warm and fuzzy. He's very, like, I'm just going to stand up here and just, like, say all the correct answers and not give you guys any information.
Well, I mean,
and that's exactly what happened.
I can kind of understand that if that was more for the entire staff, because we know that when Holgerson gets up there, he's just, you know, shooting from the hip.
He's
and
fun.
I say this not in any derogatory. He's not thinking a whole lot about trying to give coach speech. You know, if the mandate from the top down was coach speech, keep it vanilla, keep it generic, because that's why we're not seeing a spring game. That's why, you know, we're not tipping our hand in any way. But then you got Dana, which we'll get to here in a little bit. But yeah, John Butler, he's like, yes, generic, bland, non-answers. Moving on. Next question, please.
Yeah. So basically, I highlighted his comments. Here's what I got. I have a great confidant in Phil Snow. They love to talk about football with each other. He loves to talk about philosophy and things like that and bounce ideas off of Phil Snow, which you know from seeing the footage. Everyone here knows Phil Snow is very involved in the secondary. So he has made his home as part of our defense. He's yelling at those guys. He's telling them what to do. Somebody asked him a question about having Javin Wright and Deshaun Singleton back. And one of the things that I like that he said was it's kind of like having a free agency in pro football, because these guys could have left and then all of a sudden they decided to come back and finish what they started because of what Rule has created, the culture that he's created at Nebraska. And that says a lot about him as the defensive coordinator.
Right.
To me, that does. So I love that they both decided that they wanted to be part of this and wanted to be part of building something really great, because they probably could have been picked up by somebody.
Oh, for sure. And I know.
Well, Deshaun Singleton could have, for sure.
They're both draft eligible. I mean, they both put in their time. So, I mean, they could have ended up, if they're not drafted, maybe as a, undrafted free agent. But I like the fact that they're both coming back. Now, Javin Wright, I think, is coming back for like his 18th year in college. I mean, he's been around for.
Yeah.
Did I see correctly? Did he just get married?
But somebody did. I don't know. I thought it was.
Go ahead.
Janarin. I thought it was Janarin.
Oh, I thought it was Javin.
Was
Wright.
it Javin Wright?
And Matt Rule was there. And
maybe it was. I know somebody got married. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. No, you know who it was? Elijah Judy.
You were right. That's who it was.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Give me a minute. Come to me.
So, well done.
He got married. Elijah Judy's coming along. He also gave a press conference, by the way, and I just love everything he said. He's Elijah Judy, Janarin Bonner, all these guys that have been here for like 3+ seasons. Those guys to me are like 2-3 seasons. They're taking these huge leaps because they've had mat drills, which it's funny because who was it? Isaiah Hunter apparently struggled in mat drills.
Oh.
And he didn't show a whole lot of zest or oomph.
Oh.
And Holgerson talked about that today. And he said that he finally got to see part of that from Isaiah, running plays. But those mat drills must be really hard. I can only imagine. Because we see them in bits and pieces, right?
Right.
And we hear about how hard they are. But it sounds to me like, these guys play football. They have been playing for years and they play hard. And every single one of them, their first year of mat drills is like, oh my gosh. I didn't see that coming.
No.
Like it must practically kill you.
I'd say it's a bit of an eye opener, or a rude awakening, that when they get in there and they're, clanging and banging, so to speak. It's I don't doubt what these guys, put their bodies through in the spring to condition and get it ready, get the calluses built up for fall. So it's tough work. I don't know if it's pay them $1 million and give them a college education tough work, but it's tough work.
Watch it.
Sorry.
Because you know who we're talking about next?
Glenn Thomas.
And?
Dylan Raiola.
Yes.
I'll say this too, because the quarterback coach Glenn Thomas met with the media today. When talking about Dylan, he said he's
not
just
today.
in a different. Oh, I'm sorry, last week. It's. I saw Thursday and I just
You've
assumed.
been gone.
That's on me.
It's okay.
But we have other, there are other things that I could say that were made more recently. But anyway, last week Thomas said on Dylan, he's just in a different stage in his process at this point because of the familiarity, which is allowing him to grow in some other areas. Now, you mentioned Isaiah Hunter, and it was, when he took to the podium, he said that when he announced he was, the wide receiver from Cal, when he announced he was entering the portal, that Dylan was the first person to text him, period. Not from Nebraska, just period. And he actually said that it was the fan atmosphere, which we talked about, at PBA, and what the Iowa player who's transferring to Nebraska said it's about that fan experience at the Vault. He said I look at that Colorado game from from this past fall, the one that we were all at, the coordination meetup. It was great, and he said that fan energy, he's like, it's unreal. He said that paired with Dylan, he's like, that's why I chose Nebraska. So
yes,
but a lot of it.
Dylan was the first person to text him.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan, don't you think he's earning his money? He's going to everything. He's recruiting. He is the play caller. I mean, he's doing everything possible to make Nebraska great again.
I mean, I could do that too. You don't have to pay me.
No, you could not, Greg. You don't even do the show notes.
Hey, I put the stream together today.
Yeah, I made you.
You asked me.
No.
I was in the hospital last night when I got that message, by the way.
Why? Oh,
because
jeez.
my youngest had the sleep study.
Oh, okay.
And then he
Greg,
snored all night.
Don't be like that. Don't act like it's a big deal. I mean, you were in. Gosh, you're horrible.
It's like, I'm good.
You guys see what I have to put up with here? Jeez.
I'm sorry. Just think a couple years ago
Douglas
we didn't even
Cody
have
agrees. He says Dylan is definitely earning his money and notoriety. I don't want to hear anybody calling him a diva or making fun of his hair or his weight, because he's lost a ton of weight. He looks his like slimmest self.
BFOTS Josh Hansen says, I just learned that Coronation is single-handedly responsible for that player transferring here. That's what I heard too. And I wonder if I put it up on an article on Coronation, what kind of legs that would, because that worked a few years ago. We did an article on April Fool's Day, and it took people a lot longer to realize that we were putting an article out that Creighton was starting a football team, and it got picked up by national writers. And yeah, it was funny. Pitt, how is the boy? Did we learn anything? We didn't learn anything. I learned that he can snore for 8 hours straight. I think he has some apnea issues. There were a few times I felt like he stopped breathing a little bit, but we won't know actual results for another 8 weeks. Good times. And Minnie has cleverly stashed away her beverage, and then she brings it out and shows that, no, it's here. And pinky's up. Always pinky's up. I'll join you. I'm feeling a little classy tonight also.
Okay. Can we cheers? How do you cheers? Okay, ready?
Clink.
No, wait. One.
Oh, shit.
All right, come on.
Sorry. Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Bonk. Well, that.
There you go.
If that happened in real life, we'd have just smashed my glass bottle. That's okay.
You need to learn how to cheers.
We will. Minnie, you'll love this one.
No, you. I know how. Oh, Husker Chuck. Come on. Ready?
Thanks, Husker Chuck.
Let's do it all together. Guys, anybody who has a beverage, ready? 1.
To the camera, Minnie. To the camera. So you can clink with that.
1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3. All right.
You're going to love this comment because it's Riola related. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Douglas Cody says Dayton nominated for Georgia High School Player of the Year.
Wow.
As a junior.
Wow.
Right? He's a junior? Is he junior? Or sophomore?
Yeah. He's a junior. I like Pitt Snipes' cheers here. I can't even imagine what this means. But here's to swimming with bow-legged women. What does that mean?
I'm trying to visualize it. I probably shouldn't.
It sounds like a Navy cheer for sure. You know, he was in the Navy.
Josh says, White Claw says, eat when you toast him, I learned. You can't imagine. Oh, gosh.
All right.
So back to Glenn Thomas. When he met with the media last week, he was talking about, I suppose, his new boss, Dana Holgerson. He says, in hindsight, it was a blessing. I know he'd spoken of the timing being unique, but we are so much ahead at this point than we would have been if he came in January, like he spoke of. It was a unique timing. Like you said, it kind of came in a bye week. there was a learning curve, not only from his end, but from our end, as far as expectations, trying to update him on some of the terminology and what we were trying to get done, and also vice versa of what we wanted to get done. This has been a really, really good time for us to kind of get in on the same page, same terminology, same thought process. In hindsight, it was a tough situation, but we're benefiting from it right now. I mean, I didn't ever think of the head start that the coaching staff and the players would have with Holgerson jumping in, at the last third of the season last year.
We're going to get to that, Greg. We are definitely going to be talking about that within the next couple of bullet points.
Well, how about that? Look at me. I haven't read ahead. I was just, accidentally teeing something up. Look at me. Well,
should we just jump right into it now? Do you
I think it's a perfect segue, really.
Okay. So this is the most heartfelt thing. I know Marcus Satterfield had rehearsed this answer. It's obvious. When asked, how did he handle going from offensive coordinator to just a tight ends coach? Because we have not heard anything from him since. It just took place. And weird rumors. We didn't really hear anything out of his mouth. He started off with, that's a great question. And whenever somebody compliments you on what a great question you asked, it's because they've rehearsed their answer.
They're ready to go.
Mm-hmm. So glad you asked that. Let me explain. But he said the most heartfelt comment that I've ever heard. And it goes like this. It's no different than me or than the guys being benched one season because of not performing like they should. And we preach trying to get better one day at a time here. It's what we're all about. So I look at it as an opportunity to learn from Holgerson. Right? Mm-hmm. All the right answers. He's thought about this a lot, but it also felt so heartfelt. I mean, I'm telling you, it made me just think, wow, what an awesome coach. I'm glad that we have him.
Does that mean we go back to calling the Chatterfield, or are we sticking with Holger Maniacs?
No, because I'm telling you right now, there's nobody like the Holgerson. I'm telling you, he makes everybody laugh.
Yeah.
He's so entertaining. And I'm practicing his voice. One of these days I'll get it.
Wait, hold on. This comment needs a little more explanation, some exposition. Blaine says for Greg, every day is day one. I mean, I start back.
That does not. No, we're good with that comment. That is, we all feel the same way. He just said it. Okay.
Thanks, Blaine. No, one of the favorite parts of what Satterfield had to say is something that I believe in. I've said it before. He says, quote, I believe in this place. I believe in Nebraska. I believe in everything that I came here believing. I still believe it. We have great things ahead of us. I think we can do it, and I want to be a part of it. I want to finish what we started. That's why I've said for a long time now, like, I'm a Matt Rule guy. I think that Matt Rule's the guy who's going to, continue to right the ship, get whatever cliche that you want to use. And, again, we've talked, Marcus Satterfield, he's not going to get paid what he's making now as a tight ends coach anywhere else in the country. Might as well stick it out. When his contract is up, does he stay on for probably a lesser salary? that's when we'll see how much he still believes in being a tight ends coach and being.
He's made money. He
Hmm?
doesn't. He's never going to make any more. Like, what is
No,
it?
but
3 million?
but he's making offensive coordinator money as a tight ends coach. So when this contract is up and it possibly gets
You
restructured,
think he's really going to go somewhere else? No way.
No. I don't. That's what I'm saying. Will he stay on as a tight ends coach for probably less money? Because I don't think you can keep paying him $3 million. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, Andy Harris, my buddy, my Arizona buddy, is here. Thank you, Andy, for joining us. He says, can we all agree when Sat was the OC, he had no idea what personnel was on the field when calling plays? It's likely. But, he's learning, like he said. We're just going to go with that.
I agree, Larry. Sat will be fine with the pay cut. Again, if he truly believes in what's going on here, if he really wants to be a part of it, he'll have to suffer for a third of his salary, realistically. So
yeah, I think it was funny. A couple of weeks ago, last time we heard from Dana Holgerson, he was asked, what the idea, what was it, offensive yardage was per game or for the year. And he's like, I'm not going to answer that. It just varies, depends. And he goes, that's not to say, though, I don't have a goal for what each play is. Because referring back to how Sat kind of said, I don't have any idea what the average offensive play should be.
Yard per play was, yeah.
Yard per play, yeah. So at least, yeah, we're definitely gaining momentum. We're getting there.
I like the offseason moves that have taken place for Nebraska from a coaching staff, from player personnel standpoint. I want to jump. It was asked in the comments earlier. I planned on, bringing it up later, but I figured now's remember Mekhi Bayor? He went to
Bayor? Missouri.
Do
you just not turn into like a Midwesterner?
No, I've always been a Midwesterner. But we had at the same time, two of our wonderful Holger maniacs said this. We had first Nebraska said Bayor already sick of Missouri and going to enter the transfer portal. And Josh says, did we already talk about Bayor leaving Mizzou? And 3 hours ago, this is on Missouri.rivals.com or MizzouToday.com. Mizzou linebacker Mekhi Bayor intends to enter transfer portal. He did. And, subsequently since the release of this. So it's interesting. He was there since January. Last year with Nebraska, 49 tackles, 1 sack, and 3 passes defended. Couldn't even make it through the Columbia spring. So I don't know. Do we want him? Would we want him back if he decided to come back, or are we not messing with that? Would you want Mekhi Bayor back?
I mean, you are jumping all around tonight, obviously. My notes do not matter.
They do.
It depends.
They do. We were talking about personnel.
Because if you scroll down to point number 7 on the outline, it talks about how Judge Claudia, I forget her last name, in the case for the NCAA settlement that's been going on all week, is talking about the lawyers coming back with possibly grandfathering in the students that are already playing. So we won't have to get down to 105. It's possible Mackay was told by Rule, because we've been planning this entire time to get down to 105. It's possible that he was told you may or may not be guaranteed a spot. So if that's the case, then yeah, welcome him back.
Mm-hmm.
If we're able to get more guys on the roster, welcome him back. If he left because he saw that the grass might be greener or because his grandmother's sick or whatever, take it on a case-by-case basis.
Right. And then I wonder if with that grandfathered in Rule, potentially, do they already have to be on campus? Do they have to be, could he, if they made a decision tomorrow and nothing happens in Washington that fast, so I'm not expecting that, and then he re-enrolled on Monday, be like, oh, no, sorry, you weren't on, I have no idea how any of that would shake out. So I feel like that one's above my pay grade, but most everything is. So.
Guys, I mean, come on. Do you know I've drank this much? Like this much. Maybe. That much? Cheers. Okay, cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Okay, let's have another cheers.
For what?
Cheers to Nebraska going undefeated this season.
Woohoo! Cheers.
Ready? Cheers.
Bonk. Husker Chuck.
Anything else we want to cheers to?
Probably not the first time you've had to clean your screen. Husker Chuck. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Yeah. Raji says the hearing. I said Washington. He said the hearing's in actually in Oakland, California. Andy says having a court in Oakland deciding how to set roster limits seems suspicious AF. And the only reason I say suspicious is because I'm in my 40s, and so I'm not going to use the word sus. So I'm an old man.
Why not?
Because I'm an old man.
Since we're not skipping around tonight, let's go to number 8.
Let's go to number 8.
Because Matt Rule is older than you. He's 50.
I just want you to know, we skipped number 4.
We'll go back.
Number 6.
You're the one that keeps skipping around.
All right, but I like where you're at. Okay, and you got to sometimes just be flexible, go with the flow. I think number 8's a perfect spot to go, because then we can tie it back into number 4. So yes, Coach Matt Rule, the head coach of your Nebraska Cornhuskers, did a TikTok, Minnie.
He did.
With our beloved volleyball player, Harper Murray. And you have put in here words. I know one word says it's a TikTok -anxiety. Is that Dochi?
Anxiety. No, remember a couple weeks ago, I brought up my little Stella, my 11-year-old Stella said, Mommy, put on Anxiety by Dochi. And I put on the song. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a pretty good song. And then she's like doing a TikTok and she's like telling me, you're actually one of those cool moms. Well, now Rule is one of those cool dads. His daughters flipped out and they're like, whoa, I can't believe you just did that. And remember, I told you, Greg, you need to do a TikTok.
No. I wouldn't even know what a TikTok is. I can't dance.
It's cute. It's just a little dance. That's all it is. Matt Rule isn't like, actually he kind of did this type thing and he threw off his hat. It was really cute.
The closest I can do is, are you familiar with the group called Genesis, Minnie?
Of course. Phil Collins, right?
So
What about, can you do Walk Like an Egyptian?
the Bengals, that's different, but yes.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
that's
was
not.
thinking more of,
That's not.
yeah, that was not great. I wasn't standing up. But Genesis' 1991 song, I Can't Dance, where they sing, I can't dance, I can't talk. Only thing about me is the way I walk. I can't dance, I can't sing. I'm just standing here selling everything.
Well,
I can't dance.
I'm sure you can do the electric slide. Everybody can do that.
I can do the electric slide. Marsha Griffiths, fantastic. I'm not going to do it tonight.
It's electric. Come on. Phenomena. Your music just sounds like Sesame Street.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyways,
so what?
I thought it was
so
awesome.
He did
that
a
was
TikTok
a great
dance with Harper Murray.
One and done. That's yeah. He said he's never doing it again, but that it was fun.
And more power to him. He
come on.
No, that's not a negative. But I know
Harper Murray asks you to do a TikTok, you're doing a TikTok. Come on. You'd really go, okay, yeah, what do you want me to do?
But I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how some of the football players had done a TikTok trend or something. Mm-hmm. And then they had to do some TikTok wall sits, I believe.
Yes, they did. They were, and while each one of them did their own TikTok dance. Right. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
If they if they can incorporate it into something that is worthwhile for training, more power to them.
I agree.
But as for in TikTok,
we can involve Harper Murray in football, the better. I love her.
I can't.
I do. I just love her. And Heinrich, they're going to have amazing Husker babies together one day.
Who?
Heinrich Hoiberg.
Oh, and Harper?
And Harper.
That's right. I just want to say, this is only slightly. Sometimes our Holger maniacs put a little too much emphasis on the maniacs part. Like, sometimes we can dial it in just a little bit.
What do you mean?
Look at Pitt's comment from 10:18.
Yeah, there's no problem. I have no problem with him doing that. I agree. Drink it up. She is that awesome. I agree. Drink some of that.
Okay. There you go. An endorsement or at least
and cheers. Cheers while you're doing it.
Cheers. All right. Well, speaking of Matt Rule, he took the podium as head coaches tend to do. He did over the weekend. This past Saturday. He talked about the arrival of Dane Key, who was another one that was, I guess, at least partially recruited by Dylan Raiola. He says the battles have been good. DeKeel, talking about Shorts, the coach who came over also from Kentucky, is coaching them hard. I think we're a work in progress. There's a lot of guys that are new to this system, and they've picked it up well. Dane has done a good job in terms of coming in. He's the veteran guy in the group. He's played the most football. He's asking guys to walk through the plays and do a little extra. So that's a good sign, Minnie.
You know what's weird is Rule is having to take a step back. He's hired all these guys that are great at what they do. And so he's just like, okay, well, I guess I got to let them do their job.
Mm-hmm.
And he's walking around and he's like, I'm kind of bored.
But I like that he's not micromanaging. you know?
That would be hard for you, wouldn't it?
It would. I would, although I'm a horrible teacher, I feel, so I would just say, move over.
Yes, you are.
Let me do it. You know, so more power to him.
Maybe he's a horrible teacher. Who knows? I doubt it. But he is letting the experts that he knew he hired for a reason, he's letting them do their job. And he's just asking them questions. He's probably learning at the same time. So I think it's pretty awesome, especially in this new age in college football where you have to have a head coach that's more of a CEO.
Right.
To embrace that role, it's got to be hard to do.
And I really do think that Matt Rule's doing a great job of knowing just where and when to stress a little extra, you know. I said this before, I'm a Matt Rule guy. So I hope he is the guy that takes us back to the promised land, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on over there in the
We'll
chat.
talk about that all at the end of the show.
I can't believe this can of worms we opened.
It's yeah, we'll get to all of that. Trust me.
Well, here's the good news, Greg.
Yes.
On the offensive line, you know, Matt Rule, I've been saying it ever since he hired Dana Holgorsen. He made a decision in his mind that he's going to play everything close to the vest. He's not letting us in. We haven't had a chasing three. We haven't had access. It has been agony. Canceled the spring game. Now we have this Husker games. So it's about keeping things close within the program. And he was asked about Justin Evans, sorry. Right. He lost the hyphen. Justin Evans being the center. And he's like, everyone's taking snaps at center. We have Justin Evans, we have Sam Sledge, we have Justin Machachok. We have everybody, right? Everybody's taking snaps at center. I'm like, what? What is he talking about? Holgorsen said it straight today.
What did he say? What's the latest?
When a reporter asked, I think it was, I can't remember. When a reporter asked about the offensive line center, he goes, "Oh, you mean Justin Evans? Yeah, he's doing really well." He goes, last season when I got here with only 3 games left, he said, Justin Evans, I never heard a peep from him. Guys would get in a huddle, you'd never hear him. He goes, now he's taking a different role. He's in a leadership role and he's playing up to it.
He's playing center, I believe, right?
He is. That's the whole point. Matt Rule wouldn't tell anybody he's playing center, but Holgorsen verified he's playing center.
Let open the particular jar of worms, and not jars that you fart in. It. Good Lord. Our Holger maniacs are unhinged tonight, Minnie. Do you think they missed us? Do you think they missed the camaraderie?
I do. But there's also been multiple press conferences. Right. And some people forget things. So I am here to remind you.
No, it's great. And I didn't know, because again, I don't watch press conferences. By the way, everybody, this is important to know. If you are learning something tonight, like I am, there's only one person to thank, and she's sitting over here.
Oh, really? Wait, where's my crown?
Yeah, put the crown back on.
So much.
The queen of knowledge and information.
And here is my trophy.
the drinkable trophy. The longer you hold it, the lighter it gets. But again, nobody's pouring through these notes or these press conferences like Minnie. So, that again, we find out that Dana Holgerson doesn't mind letting information loose about
he's
Justin
fantastic.
Evans. And let's see, talk about we talked about Isaiah Hunter. Am I pronouncing that right? Because I feel like I'm not saying it the way it's written. Is it Isaiah?
I know, right? It is such a strange name, like somebody made it up, but that's his name.
So I used to work with a guy who says like all words are made up. But let's see. He talked about the receivers, and if I repeating, he talked about younger guys like Cortez Mills, Isaiah Mosey. And he says their heads are spinning when you put it all together, he said, which is understandable. But a spring practice, he says, going on number 10, we have 5 opportunities to coach them and come back in June and work more football before the real deal happens. So I think what I appreciate the most about that comment is understanding and managing expectations. Like, he doesn't need these young guys, these freshmen coming in and getting everything from the beginning. Like, that'd be great, but that's pretty rare. He's like, we're going to drill it into their heads for 5 more days and we're going to give them a break, and then we'll pick it up again in June. I mean, I appreciate the fact that he's like not expecting perfection from his freshman class immediately.
There is, Greg, you hit on such a great point.
Yes.
There is so much to be
get it right.
recognized there because of his experience. 32 years doing this. He knows what to expect. He knows that these freshmen, their heads are swimming with, he recognizes the look in their eyes, right? He's like, but they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Dealt with this before. I know what I'm doing. They'll be fine.
I bet.
Pretty awesome.
I bet, a lot of these freshmen, not just in Nebraska, but I'm sure most campuses, most football programs around the country, their head gets spinning a lot, that it looks like a Bugs Bunny cartoon where the eyes just kind of keep, chasing it one around the other until they settle in. So, I'm very appreciative of his awareness of, the fact that he's not expecting perfection right away. These are 18-year-old kids. They're going to have to learn and grow. Andy, I can't.
Do we talk about that? Do we talk about the kid that was not quite 18 that just left us?
Yeah, it's been mentioned. Hardly Gilmore. What happened?
Nice. I don't like to gossip. I mean, my grandmother told me, if you don't have something good to say about somebody, don't say anything at all. I'm sure most of your grandmothers said that.
Mm.
But this was very sus.
You say that whole word,
It
Minnie.
was. No.
We're all a little too old around here to be using shortened TikTok language.
I am telling you right now that this poor kid probably needed Nebraska. What are you? Okay.
It's my number. It's my 3rd beer. What's taking you so long?
And cheers.
Cheers again.
Ready? Okay. This poor kid needed us more than we needed him. That's all I'm going to say.
There are allegations and rumors going out there. And I know after he was dismissed, Matt Rule said, it had nothing to do with any legal things, and it didn't have
Greg,
anything.
you're like blurry. Can you? There you go. Slow. Boy, does that take you a long time. Okay, we're back. That was in slow motion.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, Matt Rule said, I think, I don't know if he was trying to protect the kid or what, but he said it had nothing to do with any legal matters. There was an allegation from his time at Kentucky from last year. So I don't know. Like you said, I think it's a situation of a young man who needed the football program and the stability and the structure more so than we needed him. It's unfortunate. Hopefully he lands somewhere and whatever the situation is, he can turn things around. If it's a JUCO program or drop it down in division, he's a talented kid from all. I mean, if he wasn't talented, he wouldn't be, he wouldn't have made any D1 rosters. So hopefully he can get the other half of it figured out and bounce back.
I'm gonna okay. Besides wanting to find Diesel and Mo tonight, Pit Snipes dogs, I'm gonna make another suggestion. We need the bracelets that say, instead of WWJD, we need them to say WWTOD. What would Tom Osborne do? He would have given the guy a second chance. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. You guys know I'm right.
I'm just trying to figure out if there's a better bracelet we could have. I feel like it's borderline blasphemous.
No, it's not.
Eh.
In the spirit of Easter, how could that be? It's all about giving back.
Give until it hurts, then give a little more.
Yes.
I guess no. What was blasphemous is I'd be like, Tom Osborne and Jesus, aren't they about the same person? That'd have been a little blasphemous. So, yeah. Pitt says Tom would put the boy in a program, and I don't know exactly what kind of program that is.
Oh, I don't want to hear that, Josh Hansen. Come on.
Allegedly, Mr. Hansen.
Yeah, we can't put it on the screen just in case.
Yeah, let me wait for that down.
No, we can't. Okay.
I think we know what you meant. We didn't mean it. You didn't mean it like that. You young man. Get the young man some help. So that's what we know. There was no. We're good, Pitt. We're good. So
we are good. And I agree. Okay. So now, Greg, sounds like, the only other thing that I have to talk about is when Evan Bland, whom I love, he's just so innocent. From the Omaha World Herald.
Mm-hmm.
He sits between Sam McEwen and the other guy, the older guy that I love. What's his name?
I have no idea.
Why can't I think of his name? Anyways, Chattel. Yeah.
Oh, Tom.
Tom Chattel. And he asks, he goes, the portal opens up next week to Dana Holgerson. And he's like, really? This is Dana Holgerson. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Can you do the five-part theater? Okay.
I got it.
Wait. this out in a while.
That's okay. Welcome to a very special 5-Heart Theater. Allow our star to get ready. She's currently in makeup and wardrobe, and at any moment, she will reappear on stage and deliver a soliloquy with the talent of a young Sir Patrick Stewart, a young Christopher Lee, and just, oh, there she is. All right, what do you got for us?
I'm Dana Holgerson. I have to tell you. What are you trying to ruin my day? Do you have bad news for me? I was just out there in practice. What are you trying to say? The portal opens up next week. Is there something I need to know? That's it. You're welcome. It's my impersonation. Greg.
That was great. Vince
You're
says,
welcome.
Buzz Minnie is so much more fun than stick to the script, Minnie.
Guys, I have only gotten through half of this, but it has been fun. And I missed you guys so much.
This was it was tonight was not Pitt's particular cup of brandy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's like,
I'm
thanks for
trying to
trying.
do better. I know. We like the format. It gives us comfort.
It gives some of us comfort, gives some of us anxiety. BFOTS Josh Hansen wants to know, why is Minnie's Dana Holgerson 85 years old? Also, when will BFOTS Josh Hansen learn to spell Holgerson's name right? It's Holgorsen. Like Hansen, it's S-E-N. You both are.
No, I have to tell you, it has been really hard. I do the notes. It is really difficult to spell his last name because it's one of those things that, it's like you learn the rules, I before E except after C. And so you're like, wait, does that apply here? And then it's like, wait, Holgerson.
Holgorsen.
With an E-N at the end.
Everything
else is a no. I have to remind myself every time.
Sometime, and I say this to you, Minnie, to anybody in the Holger Maniacs, do a quick YouTube search for Brian Regan's Hooked on Phonics. He's a stand-up comedian. He's great. He does pretty clean comedy, so it's relatively family friendly. But he's like I before E except after C, or in sounding like A is in neighbors and way and weekends and holidays and all throughout May, and you'll always be wrong no matter what you say. He does it much better than I do. Brian Regan, free shout out to him. He's great.
This is why I won't text you.
Okay. Because I get crazy?
Kidding. Yeah, because I'm afraid you're going to correct my spelling or something. You're one of those people.
Done that? I do it in my brain, but I don't ever say it to you.
I think he does. I'm pretty sure he does.
I sit there and I grit my teeth. I'm like,
what is she trying to spell?
I, for once, will have you know, I didn't get Minnie buzzed for that. I haven't gotten Minnie buzzed. Minnie's drinking because we're all drinking, because it's a celebration. We're all back together again.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck, Josh?
No.
Josh, I don't know.
He's not happy with you. You didn't bring him anything from your vacation. Did you bring anyone anything home other than your kids?
I brought t-shirts.
Kids don't count.
Boys, and I brought magnets for my fridge here, and then for my mom and my sister. Mom and dad and my sister. So.
You see what we mean? Best friend of the show, Josh Hansen.
Sometimes
I do all the work for the show, practically. And you are his best friend, and we get nothing. I don't even want to hear about your vacation, Greg.
it's fine. You want to hear about the duty-free shop in the Dominican
Did you bring
airport?
anything home?
No. God, no. It's more expensive there than it is here. I'd rather just pay the damn taxes and save the $3 on my 16-ounce pack of M&Ms.
No. Jeez.
M&Ms were more expensive there than at the airport than they were here at home. That's all you got to know.
Well, yeah. That's expected.
Okay. What else we got, Minnie?
What else? I asked first. You tell me.
I don't think you did. We have a lot of starred comments. Let's get to them.
Okay. Yay.
Victor Papa says, "Go Big Red." And Tony, the Minnesota fan, says, "I think the Big Ten needs 5 auto bids when the playoff expands to 14. I don't think it's going to expand more. I can see it. I just don't think it's going to. 12 seems like a decent enough number.
It is. No, it is. Just you watch. Let's take a bet.
I feel like it needs to be something that's more readily divisible by 4. And 14's an oddball number.
Why? No, it isn't.
Because you're going to have too many. You're going to have like play-in games like they have in the men's basketball tournament. Now you have like too many. Like each region has a play-in game. It used to be 64, now it's 68 teams. It's just, it's not basketball. Like you can't play every other day in basketball like you can't in football like you can in basketball. So if you do that, they're going to be playing the championship game after the Super Bowl at that point. Like it's nuts.
Well, they're going to change things. It's just a matter of time where it becomes year-round, and I'm serious.
We're going to have
there will be
36 game regular seasons. It's going to be like basketball.
2 conferences. Yeah. 14 team playoff. Just watch. Poor Brian. Could you imagine? What would he think of this?
I think he'd be very pissed off by it all, honestly.
I know, right?
I really think.
He was pissed when we were winning only 8 games.
That's right. Because we weren't winning the games we were supposed to win, and the games we were losing, we were getting ran out of the stadium.
Jeez.
So, all right.
How far we have fallen.
Raji says, "What about bowling? Women's bowling. They're headed to the national championship this weekend." Great job, Justin.
Okay, Justin, here's the deal. You need to send Greg. I sent you an email, Justin. I would love to have you on Monday nights, or you can come on Thursdays whenever you're free. You can talk about all these other sports that you like to watch. We need somebody. Yes?
Open invitation, Mr. Rashi. Email me. You got the email address. We'll make it happen, Captain. Also, shut up again, Josh. Let's see. Minnie, will you do me the honors of pulling up our 2025 schedule?
What do you want to know, Greg? I know it all.
Oh, okay. Tony, our Minnesota fan friend, wants to know, looking at your schedule, that Michigan game will be huge right out of the gate.
Yep. September 20th.
Well, cool. That's our first conference game?
It is. Let's see. We play. Yeah, we actually have a very soft schedule right at the front.
Cincinnati at Arrowhead, which is, it's coming up, and we'll get to it, folks. It's coming up in the star comments. I saw your conversation. Akron, Houston Christian, and then Michigan, all at home. And I've said this before, our first true road game is not until Saturday, October 11th. And that's going to be at Maryland. So, yeah, Michigan. I mean, Michigan would be huge. We should be 3-0. they'll likely be 3-0. I don't know their
all I know is we need to kick some Michigan butt. They don't even have a quarterback. Do you know that? They're possibly going to start a freshman.
They're going to start the same day that we do, August 30th. Or I guess, oh shit, I didn't realize that our game was on a Thursday. That's going to throw a cog in the machine. The game at Arrowhead is on a Thursday. I didn't know that. I thought it was a Saturday. I guess
what? It is on a Saturday.
According to huskers.com/sports/football/schedule, Thursday, August 28th, Nebraska versus Cincinnati at Kansas City, Missouri's Arrowhead Stadium.
26. It's the 26th. What are you talking about?
I'm looking at
August 28th.
I'm looking at the count. I'm looking at the schedule on the website.
Oh, it is Thursday. James Boardman just chimed in. I believe him over you any day of the week.
Thank you. So anyway, Michigan starts against New Mexico. They do have an early season challenge because they're going to take on Oklahoma, and then they have Central Michigan, and then we'll tie up on September 20th. So,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance we're both 3-0. I certainly hope we're 3-0. There's a chance Michigan could be 2-1, depending on which Oklahoma team shows up. I think I'd rather Michigan be 3-0.
Who do they play?
Michigan will play New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Central Michigan. And it's going to be a road game. It's going to be Michigan and Oklahoma in Norman at Oklahoma. So it's going to be a road. It's a non-conference road game, Big Ten, SEC. Or I'll be honest with you, I still consider Big Ten and Big 12. I know Oklahoma's in the SEC now, but they're still a Big 12 or even Big 8 stalwart to me. So,
okay.
So Michigan could be 2-1. I would rather them be 3-0 because it'll make it that much sweeter when we beat them. I don't really want them coming into Memorial Stadium full of piss and vinegar, personally. That's just me.
Yep.
Cool. And I think you're right, though, Tony. That Nebraska-Michigan game will be huge, and Nebraska needs to win that game.
Tony, we're going to get into that in May. Right now,
and all also we have in
optimism. Yes. All we have to give you guys is optimism. Okay? This is what we're here for.
Before Highlander ducked out at 16% power, he said 3 of my dogs were black and beautiful. I didn't star that comment, but it's worth noting. And Blaine says, I hope you find your dogs. Pitt, our dachshund, passed away this week after 19 years of loyal and devoted service. It's heartbreaking. It is.
Dachshunds are my favorite. Actually, golden retrievers are than Dachshunds.
Dachshunds
and
are
English bulldogs.
Are just all dogs your favorite, Minnie? Like, yeah. Did you ever meet a dog you didn't love?
No, I have not.
Well, we're very sorry for your loss, Blaine. It does suck.
It does.
You know, I don't have since the move. I don't have the pictures of the dogs behind me anymore. But if you want your dog memorialized in paint, I have an artist located out of Belleville, Illinois. I'd be more than happy to pass his name along to you. So
I'm gonna have my dogs stuffed. But that's a subject for another 5-part.
I wasn't prepared for that one. Sorry, Minnie. All right. Breaking away from sad dog situations, MK says, how much competitive intelligence do we give away in the Nebraska media microscope?
Exactly. That is the best point. That's the reason why we don't get any information.
I was going to say, we're not giving away any competitive intelligence on this show. You're welcome.
No. Actually, we do. Guys, I know things. I figure things out because I'm in here with a microscope and my yarn. And I'm like,
You're like Charlie Day with the conspiracy board. I love
it. But I won't tell. I'll tell you. Nobody else.
Okay.
Nobody else.
It'll only be seen by the people who are here with us live. I will say this in 100% agreement. The coaching staff, the organization, the team, whatever, they've done a much better job. I think. Look, if you're going to cancel the spring game, you got to shut everything down. So the fact that our beloved offensive coordinator got to be as free speaking as he was at the podium, a little shocking. But I will.
Oh, you're not putting a muzzle on that guy. Are you kidding me?
No, that's fine. But I'm just saying, I don't. If you're canceling the spring game because you don't want, other teams seeing the potential of your players and reaching out to them when the portal opens, or whatever. I'm fine. I'm fine with no information. Like if they stopped having press conferences, I know it would drive you nuts. It would
drive us all nuts. What is wrong with you?
No, it's fine. We don't need to know anything. All we need to know is who's on the roster.
Yeah, no,
what time is kickoff?
Guys, who's behind this idea? Who wants that? None of us. We're pissed that we don't get a spring game. What are we going to do? All right, just settle down, Greg.
I just think, and I know I'm alone, if we heard nothing, it would, first of all, it would put the sports pages out of business. All they could do is speculate more rampantly than they already do. But if we knew nothing and we just had to rely on the first game that apparently Thursday night, which, by the way, I guess we're not going to do a 5-heart that night because we'll all be watching the game. Then it just, I'd be fine with that.
If
I could survive knowing nothing.
If this was 1900, let's say,
that's fine.
You would have to survive that way. However, it's 2025. We are not living like that. No,
I'm gonna go get me one of those bicycles that has the giant front wheel and the itty bitty little back wheel, and I'm gonna ride it up and down my road here in a top hat and a suit because that's what they did 120 years ago.
No, we're not doing it.
I think
we are not doing it.
I want to see the comments on that because I feel like Josh says, "What the hell am I supposed to do at work all day, Greg?" Send me reels and memes like you already do, jackass.
Does he correct your English too?
Does he?
No, I'm asking Josh.
Oh,
that's not a question for you.
Josh is his grammar in English is pretty good
compared to mine. Nice.
Okay.
Greg has survived his whole life knowing nothing. That's good grammar. That right there? Really?
Greg it's not a double negative.
Knowing nothing.
Why would I start now? That's a good damn point. All
right.
So yeah, no, I'm good.
It's about time we wrap this night up. I know we could go all night, but I'm
Husker
already
Chuck says,
tipsy.
what's the over-under on teams changing conferences this year?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a few. There's a couple.
Who in your mind could switch?
Clemson, obviously.
Florida State, I guess they're always looking for
FSU. Yes. And Colorado.
Ooh. I don't know where Colorado would land.
Nobody wants them.
No, exactly. They barely got back into the Big 12.
I mean,
Clemson and Florida
State. The thing
State
is that they bring in so much money now. They're like the #1 watch game.
But that's temporary.
Is
and honestly,
it?
I think
How long do they have Dylan? Or not Dylan, Dion? Excuse me.
I think the longer he's there, the bloom's going to be off the rose. That's my opinion.
I don't.
Let's see. Douglas Cody said that Arrowhead is an away game for Nebraska and home game for Cincinnati. Possibly. Again, it is listed as a neutral site game for, on the website Thursday, August 28th. Set your calendars accordingly. So, I mean, there was talk in the comments earlier about how it was supposed to be in Indianapolis, but Arrowhead can and be dubbed a home game for Cincinnati, but Arrowhead can hold more. So get all the Nebraska fans there. Cincinnati makes bank. And the comment is gone, so I've lost my train of thought.
It's okay. It's what I do. Squirrel. It's only because he's probably right. North Carolina, FSU, Clemson, Miami.
I say this, that would
between the Big Ten and SEC, probably correct.
That would hurt basketball more than it would hurt football. Especially when you talk
that's
about
why we need to separate football.
Out
That's why we need to separate football.
I don't know if that'll ever happen, honestly.
It needs to happen. There's just a revenue bias for 90%, 95% of the schools make the majority of the money in football, unless they're terrible at it, in which case they need to be in this lower level league. Yeah. So
let's see. It also says Louisville to the Big 12. So let's see. At some point, I allegedly said that I had a plan because Nebraska questioned that. It says Greg has a plan. That was almost an hour ago. I don't know what that plan may have been. So I apologize for getting anybody's hopes up. What?
Nothing.
What did you say?
I said Greg never has a plan.
It's true. Again, Greg used to just do the show off the cuff with nothing. Nothing but coordination.com opened up.
I know. And look what has happened. We're still going 2 hours. My goal with coming on board here was to help in any way I could.
She wanted to deprive you of more 5-heart goodness is what she's like, let's just get the show down to an hour. Screw everybody. To heck with
I thought, okay, there's no reason this show needs to go an hour, longer than an hour.
I'm going to point. I don't know if anybody else can see this clock but me, but it's an hour 58, 50.
Nobody else can see that. And here's the problem, Greg. If you went and rewatched every show like I do, you'd be like, okay, yeah, it can be shortened. There's definitely things we could take out.
I've already lived the show. I don't need to go back and watch the show.
I think you should. Once in a while, it might do you some good.
It says, Minnie, you can go to bed.
Okay.
We won't be mad.
I hope you find your dogs. That's all I'm going to say.
Andy says, sorry, not sorry. Harper not even top 5 in looks on the volleyball squad. Well, that seems unintentionally or unnecessarily personal. And then we got talking about bathwater. And Andy says, Pitt, it's crazy people pay for some other folks' bathwater.
I don't even want to know. Don't even tell me, please.
Raj says apparently farts in a can also.
Don't ever tell me about this, guys. I like to live in a bubble. This is my bubble right here. I don't know how this stuff gets. I don't need it.
Oh, because Pitt says we can sell Harper Murray's bathwater. Just saying. And MK says it's a nil.
I do love Harper Murray. I do love Harper Murray. Here's what I want for Harper Murray.
Harper, I want her to stumble across this show. I apologize. We are generally not this.
We're obsessed with you. No, we are. We're obsessed with you.
We're generally good, harmless people, and it's important that you know that.
No, it actually isn't important. I need her to know this. I want her to be the first Husker Barbie. I'd like to have her like right there next to Little Red. Isn't
We
that
can't
cute?
do Little Red anymore. No, I mean the screen is cut off. Yeah, so we can't see Little Red. Now we can.
My baby. See, I'm holding a baby too.
Except mine was alive. All right.
Little Red.
I'm gonna Andy Harris with possibly the comment of the night. LOL. What the fuck are we talking about?
I have no idea.
James Boardman says Uncle Donnie had the best quote a few weeks ago. To paraphrase, we won't start the 5 best O linemen. We will start the 5 that play together the best.
Okay. I almost agree, James Boardman. But Andy, you know what I'm talking about here? My favorite quote from Coach Raiola is, water the bamboo.
Water the bamboo. Unleashing Your Potential, the book by Greg Bell.
He is saying, because bamboo is strong. Water the bamboo.
When giant timber bamboo grows, it will rocket up an astonishing 90 feet in only 60 days. Typically, bamboo farmers will tend the plant for at least 3 years before they see any signs of growth. Do you have that kind of faith, vision, patience, persistence, and focus to achieve what you want?
Yes. 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 Good.
Water.
Good.
Bamboo. Mr. Harris also wanted to know if we could talk special teams. I know you saw that a little bit ago. And I don't.
Not sure we can tonight.
Not at the 2 hour and 3 minute mark. Andy, will you be so kind as to remember and ask that question earlier in the show next week so we can?
And also this, we have a new long snapper, everybody. So can't wait to see him practicing.
Maybe we don't want to water the bamboo. Pitt says war prisoners.
No, do not read that comment. That was not a good comment to read. We're done here.
Sorry, Andy. All right. Last but not least,
not necessary.
Josh says Greg's eyes look bluer than usual. Spice?
Correct.
I don't know if you'll understand that. Do you understand that reference, Minnie, with the spice and blue eyes?
Nope, I don't.
From the Dune book and movie series.
Again, it's like science fiction, right? No, I don't watch science fiction. You know that.
It's on Max.
I did watch. Guys, I know we're 2 hours and 4 minutes in. Based on Greg's referral to me, he's like, Minnie, while I'm on vacation, you should watch The Lord of the Rings. And he said, do not buy the regular version.
Gotta get the extended.
You have to get the extended version. So every movie is like 5 hours long. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this could have been done in 2. It was horrible. Who recommends that to somebody who doesn't even like science fiction to begin with, for the most part?
Lord of the Rings isn't science fiction; it's fantasy. It's high fantasy. It's the ultimate.
But it's not. It's just like, why would you do that? I bought it, and then I had to just sit there and watch the whole freaking thing when I could have just spent 30 minutes in the beginning and 30 minutes at the end. Like, that's it.
There's a movie made almost 20 years ago called Clerks 2, and they're explaining the Lord of the Rings movies, and Randall says, here, let me explain to you the movies. There's Fellowship of the Ring. Here's the ring. We're walking. And here's the two towers. Here's the ring. We're walking. And then here's Return of the King. We're walking.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg. I appreciate it.
Josh says, Minnie sounds like Randall on Clerks. Even the trees walk in that stupid movie. So, I'll tell you what, though, and the Star Wars purists might hate me for this, but I still think that Lord of the Rings is my favorite trilogy out there. So I'm sorry that you didn't enjoy it. I really am, truly. Because I don't recommend movies to.
You have not ever recommended a movie that I've liked. You're like 0 for 12.
Sorry. I watched The Gorge and I really liked that. You recommended that to me.
Because guess what? I only recommend good movies.
Okay, but Lord of the Rings Return of the King won a bunch of Oscars. I don't think The Gorge won any Oscars.
Yeah, but the extended version was not necessary for a newbie. If you want somebody to enjoy it, Cliff Notes. Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, everybody. Well, that's it for this episode of the Five Heart Podcast and Greg's Ass Kicking. We appreciate you so much. We know you have a lot of entertainment options, and we can't wait to see you back next week for more Greg Ass Kicking or Ass Kicking of Greg at Greg's. You know what I mean. Thank you all for spending time with us. We missed you last week. I know I did, and I'm pretty sure Minnie did as well.
Did.
And we can't wait to see you all again next week. But don't forget, Monday night therapy. That was not meant to be redundant. It just kind of accidentally became redundant. Husker Heat on Tuesday. And again, 9:00 Central next Thursday for the Five Heart Podcast. For my very great friend, Minnie Hunt, I am Greg Mahochko. This is the Five Heart Podcast, reminding you each and every week that Five Heart is all the heart you need. Minnie?
Okay. And for my very great friend, Greg Mahochko. Look, turning the tables.
Thank you.
This is Minnie saying 5 hearts is all the hearts you need. And go.
She's practicing for when she fully takes over the show and kicks me out completely.